Welcome to the Halo Outreach Podcast, where we reach out to you, the Halo community, to keep you up to date on everything that's going on in the Halo universe.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 54 of the Halo Outreach Podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, the Patman Gaming, along with the KevinKoolx. How you doing, Kevin?
Doing well, Pat. How about yourself?
Good. We're gearing up for the holidays.
It's the holiday season.
Yeah. And Kevin and Pat are coming around to keep you up to date on everything that's happening in Halo.
It rolls right off the tongue.
Rolls right off the tongue. So we got quite a few topics to talk about today, guys. We have the new armor debacle in Halo 3 and MCC. We got the Halo Infinite high level update, coming up that we never got a chance to talk about. I know we've done several videos on it, but we never really had the chance to talk about it. So we'll talk about it a little bit on the podcast, and we'll be talking about the end of the 360 era coming up for Halo. And besides that, sheds tears. Besides that, we'll have of course, at the end of the podcast, the playlist update for you guys. Quick Showtime Halo TV show update just to show you guys, and then we'll get on out of here because I gotta go to sleep. So, first, before we start everything, Kevin, how you been? What have you been playing? What's going on with you?
I think I've been doing pretty well for ourselves here. Just keeping on with the YouTube uploads. I've been trying to do daily uploads for December because you guys don't know, in December CPMs are the highest. I'm trying to capitalize that as much as possible, and I've uploaded a video every single day except for like one day, but that's because like in that same week I upload like 2 or 3 videos within the same day. So basically I've kept up with that. Surprisingly, it's been coming around naturally for me. I haven't really had to struggle too much with the content side of things. And so just kind of getting into that rhythm there. Streaming as always, playing some Halo, grinding out that double XP that's currently right now in the MCC. And then on off stream times, I've actually been playing some Cyberpunk 2077 on PC. And I've definitely have been enjoying that experience. It's kind of, for me, it's difficult just to wrap my head around exactly how to do everything because it's such a different game, at least for like a Halo game, and that's a mentality I'm used to. So just like jump in and start shooting things. Where in this game you actually like think and process and take your time with certain things, and like there's so many different systems and parts that you need to take in consideration that like I'm still trying to figure out how the whole hacking system really works in that game. Like there's like that one like breach protocol thing, which like you gain more XP when you do it, but I don't know what it does. I get XP from doing it, so I just do it. So there's a bunch of like weird things like that I'm still trying to figure out. But I'm about like 12 hours into the game right now. And I mean, besides like at least from play on PC, I'm experiencing some like minor, more like immersion breaking bugs that like I had one time where like Jackie just like walked through a set of lockers just didn't care about him. The lockers just were scattered everywhere. Or like he was like eating with like chopsticks, and his chopsticks like stayed in place like in the air while he still had chopsticks in his hand. At one point he had like 3 sets of chopsticks. And then like there's like one scene where like he takes like a chip out of his head, but then like the chip isn't in his hand. There's like guns are in his hand sometimes. Like there's a bunch of little things like that throughout the entire game.
Spoilers. I didn't need to know about the chip in his hair, dude.
But that's not a spoiler. You're just trying to be.
Dude, that's a spoiler, man. You gotta calm down with that.
But like so there's a bunch of little things like that, but I haven't come across anything too game breaking like what I've been seeing from like the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 experiences. Like that's pretty bad. Where like the performance, like obviously this game was not gonna run well on last gen hardware. Like, or if it was gonna be very toned down. And which is true, but from what I've seen, like the low frame rate down to like the teens and like the funky load times. I think Dark Scorch tweeted at me saying that like every time the game auto saves, it crashes for him.
Nice.
So that's a lot of like weird stuff that happens within the game, for at least for the console users. But on everything else, like it's totally fine for me. And I've been really enjoying myself. I just crank it all up, graphics up all the way, and then I just put everything at like lock it at 30 frames. Yes, I'm playing on PC, but playing at 30 frames. But
Nice.
but that's because like I can't keep maintaining a solid 60 anyway, just because my PC just can't quite handle it.
Right.
But I just love that world, walking around in it. It's so immersive. Just like I feel like I just like taking long walks in there and just see what comes around. It's just makes me think of like all the stuff you can do with Halo Infinite when it comes to just like in the open world. Like it's like that's kind of it sets a new bar really when it comes to immersive open world games, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what about yourself, Pat?
That's cool. I've been playing a couple of games off stream. I just started Doom Eternal today. I've been played and beat and 100% completed Jedi Fallen Order. Absolutely love that game.
Don't need to finish it. I meant like seriously like the last mission.
Oh my god, I finished it before you.
I know.
Great game. Really cool stuff at the end. Some nice little Easter eggs and stuff. So I really enjoyed that, and Halo Double XP, Call of Duty Season 1 started. I tried that out for a little bit, and played some more zombies, and that's really been about it.
So I haven't tried out new Season 1 for Call of Duty. I played a little bit of Warzone with some friends once they brought in some of the new Cold War guns, and but never really messed with it a whole lot. That's about it. I haven't really played a whole lot of multiplayer in a while.
No, yeah, they added Raid from Black Ops 2, so that's kind of cool.
Oh, yeah,
it's already like the best map in that game.
It looks exactly the same. Visually, like it looks exactly the same as the Black Ops 2 one from like the gameplay I saw.
Yeah,
like they didn't like
any different.
They didn't even like. I don't even think they upgraded anything. Maybe like a little bit better resolution on textures, but that's about it.
Oh, it's definitely a better resolution or textures. You would notice drastic difference in from Black Ops 2 to now, but
it is watching it on YouTube. It looked. I was like, "Is this Black Ops 4?"
Well, Black Ops 4 would be still way bigger jump than Black Ops 2, Kevin.
Just saying.
It probably is Black Ops 4 Blackout Raid. I think that's the same version. It might be. Who knows? But yeah, it's definitely not the Black Ops 2 version. Layout wise, it's exactly the same. They didn't change nothing, which I'm glad, because I didn't like how Infinity Ward changed a lot of the classic maps and added shit in it.
And for the most part, when the Infinity Ward changes things, it's for the worst.
Yeah, usually. But besides that, my Buffalo Bills,
that's true,
winning the AFC East. That was very big for me this week. But we'll get. I ain't gonna bore everybody with football talk. Let's get into the this armor debate, because I'm pretty passionate about this subject. I'll let you go first.
It's a little
so
heated,
we got new armors in Halo MCC. This was stuff added from Halo Online, and there has been quite the controversy, go figure, from the community. Not shocked that there's something. Well, I'll get to my opinions. I'll let you go on ahead and state how you feel about it and kind of talk about it for a little bit.
Well, I was pretty vocal about it on Twitter. Because you don't follow me there, you should. But you should follow me there as well, Pat. I'm just saying.
Oh, okay. I'll think about it. I'll consider it.
But yeah, so like with the season 5, they had like a preload of some of the new customization options coming to Halo 3, which is some of the Halo Online content, which people wanted and requested some Halo Online content coming to Halo 3, which sounded pretty cool to me. I didn't really play a whole lot of Halo Online just because of that DMCA that happened with the game. So I probably played it for like a week, maybe 2, and then it got shut down. So it's like, as a content creator, like I can't really spend that much extra free time playing Halo because I already spend enough time making videos and streaming about it already, So I didn't even get too much in depth, but once these new armor sets kind of came in, some people were started kind of getting pretty upset about the new style, because it doesn't necessarily match like the aesthetic of the original Halo 3 art style. Though, in my opinion, I'm all for adding more armor sets into the game, because the amount of armor that was added into Halo 3 almost puts it on par with Halo Reach with the level of customization that you have. and you might not be able to add little pieces of additions to like your armor sets, but it adds a whole lot of new stuff, and you get to customize your undersuit, which I don't think we've ever had before in Halo for a customization option. And people were kind of upset about that too, because the default tech suit, the undersuit, was actually changed as well, actually rather drastically changed from the original Halo 3 version, and people seem to be pretty upset about that as well. They seem to be more upset about that now with the sunsetting of the 360 games, but like I said, we'll talk about that in a little bit later. But in my opinion, like, I think more the better. None of these armor sets really seem too out of place. Like, some of them actually fit really well. I put a Twitter post up that actually got some good traction, showing that, like, hey, you can meld some of this new art style with the old art style, and it looks pretty freaking awesome. Even Ascend Hyperion made a whole video on it and showcased it, like, this totally works. And this really is, besides like Halo 5, which they made more like Halo 5 versions of classic armor, but this is like first time you really had classic and modern in the same game. And I think you can make some really awesome combinations out of it. And, I think it's pretty cool. I'm not too picky about the customization when it comes to multiplayer side of things, because I'm not like looking for like a super immersive experience. I'm really just looking forward to more options, more ways to have fun and stuff like that. If these like weird looking, like the Hive Mind headset that looks like a weird ass skull face looking helmet, and that was in campaign, I'm like, okay, that'd be a little like immersion breaking if you put that in there. For the multiplayer, I'm like, sure, why not? As long as you don't have like some big titty goth anime girls on the side of a warhog, then I'm fine.
Could happen.
Could happen, though. True. With the new customization options. What are your thoughts on the whole thing, Pat?
I especially agree with your last point about I would care more if it was campaign. I could care less what the multiplayer Spartans look like that I'm shooting in the face. Like, why would I care what somebody else chooses to wear? That doesn't matter to me at all. And basically what you said as well is, and a lot of people don't like to hear this from me. I don't really care. That the whole point of me having my YouTube channel is to state how I feel about things, not, what other people, if you want me to push some sort of narrative. I thought it was absolutely crazy that people were complaining about this. I'm not against the toggle option though. Like it just seems like it was blown way out of proportion. People are saying you're ruining Halo 3's legacy. Oh my God. Like, stop. Like, comments like that is that's going to ruin Halo's legacy way more than some added armors into a love note from 343. MCC is a love note at this point, where we're just getting a bunch of new content for old games. You will never ever see me complain about stuff getting added to a game for free and nothing getting taken away. Like, I will never complain about that ever. You could add I don't like the armors either. Like, I don't think they look good. I don't like the helmets. I'm not a fan of. But I'm not going to complain about that. Come on.
Some of them look pretty good though.
I don't like any of the helmets. Like, not a single one.
Really?
Yeah. I just don't. I've never liked 343's art style when it comes to Spartans. Halo 5 is my second favorite multiplayer game of all time, and I hate almost every single armor in that game. It just doesn't matter to me. Like, stuff like that doesn't matter to me. I'd rather the game play good. I don't care what the Spartans look like. I barely care what my Spartan looks like, because it's a first-person game anyways. So I'd rather have nice, cool gun customization. Yeah, cool armor effects and stuff was nice when I grab a turret off and I can see my character, or if I'm looking in the multiplayer menu. But, stuff like that, just... I thought it was blown way out of proportion. And like I said, I will just never complain about free stuff, more options for the player getting added. But some of the chest pieces, like the chest pieces look cool. I like everything else about it. Like, I think a lot of the legs customization, the arm customization looks really good.
The lower arm customization you can do now?
Got added, a lot of them look good. And like you said, I'll be blending the old and the new. There's a fucking Hayabusa. There's Ryu Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden. His armor's in the game, and I've never heard anybody ever complain about that. Oh, it's so cool. There's a katana on a Spartan. When the fuck do Spartans use katanas, dude? Like that stuff was never complained about, and now all of a sudden, oh, it doesn't fit the aesthetic, so it's bad. Well, a lot of things don't fit aesthetics in video games, but they're cool. Freaking Doom, you got isn't there like in Doom Eternal like a unicorn looking Doom Slayer option? Like, it's just wacky stuff sometimes that looks cool. And this isn't even wacky stuff. This if you actually look at it in game, a lot of it fits pretty well with the aesthetic. I think a lot of the outcry is because of the Unreal Engine 4 renders, which a lot of people are looking at because that's all they can see. But like things like me and you do, we unlock the content so we can see it in game for videos, and it looks drastically different in game. And not to say that it, some of the stuff doesn't melt well. Yeah, that's true. But like I said, I would just never complain about that in multiplayer, and that's just basically my stance on it.
Yeah, I'm not too picky about it. But was it Farn said on Reddit though that they were 100% looking into doing a toggle option for this customization. So if you only want to see classic customization, which we already have for the skins, you can do that with the armors as well. They're 100% looking into that. So I assume for that to come in sometime in 2021. If you want to maintain the legacy stuff, you can. There are some weird things with the geometry of the Spartan with the undersuit that apparently they're like way thinner now, and so the armor looks they look way too thin for being a Spartan, and like some of the parts like that looks kind of weird. I don't know if like toggling off customization will bring that back or not, but I mean, for the most part,
you want your thick boy Spartans back.
Spartans thick.
Extra thick.
And so like I said, like for the most part, I think they're pretty cool. I think a lot of the armor sets actually do work within Halo 3's art style. I even saw it's just like you can tell that they're definitely new because a lot of the Halo Online armor sets kind of match with 343's armor sets. It's a kind of like a little overly designed kind of look to it. They're not saying that they're like,
very busy.
They're very busy looking. It's not like that they're like not like saying like Bungie's designs were simple, but they were kind of more like they're more bold. You can clearly tell the design work on an item.
Very defined.
Yeah, very defined edges and shapes and stuff like that. Where in 343 it all kind of like blends together. Nothing really stands out super well. Like I don't know really like any of the names of any armor set in Halo 5. Because it all just kind of blends together.
I know Helios Grill, and that's it.
I think the one I like is like called Raijin, RAI like JEN or something like that.
That's Rihon.
Maybe, I don't know. But
just kidding. Yeah.
I did see someone actually put a Twitter post. So they did like a simple little like Photoshop edit on some of the new armor sets, and they totally imagine what the art style, like absolutely imagine. It's just that the over designedness of these new armor sets. I think kind of what really makes it stand out, but like I think the general shape and style works totally fine. Like none of it's really that immersion breaking except for like the Hive Mind helmet only. Right. The Hive Mind like arm, legs, chest, actually work out really well.
Yeah, all that stuff looks great. Yeah.
The Hive Mind like skull helmet looks weird. Like I don't know who passed that one.
Zelda flashback, man.
I saw that tweet. That was a good one. Like it looks just like it. But yeah, for the customization, I'm happy about it. I'm looking forward to it. And it's cool to see like they can bring Halo Online stuff into MCC. They talk about bringing maps in potentially. They'll look into it.
Yeah, so that opens the floodgates for a lot more stuff to get added. Halo El Dorito had the armor light customization. I hope that gets added. I think that'd be really cool to have as well. Just more options, the better. Like I think it's really cool that they added tech suit customization. That's a sweet thing. And maybe we'll see that in Halo Infinite too. That would be pretty dope to be able to customize the tech suits. But yeah, they do look a little wonky. Like people are upset about that. Another thing too that they changed that I guess I could show real quick, the Warthogs. Those got changed. The Jurassic Park themes.
Ones,
yeah. So we're all just assuming copyright that Universal was like, whoa, what you think you're doing there? I actually really like the new red and white one. I think that looks a lot more defined, but I did like the Jurassic Park with the red and green one. It's like a Christmassy one too. It would have fit perfect into this time of year.
They changed it to like a tan and like brown one, right?
Yeah, it looks like a Velociraptor or something.
Yeah. And like actually, I've always kind of had like this kind of like connection with the Warthog and the Jeeps, and like the Ford Explorers, right, from Jurassic Park. I don't know. I've always had like this visual connection between the two. To see it actually happen finally was awesome. But then they had to change.
The Warthog basically is like a Jeep, or a Puma.
Or a Puma too. You can see because it has tusks.
But people are like, well, you could copyright colors. I don't think it's that simple. It's more of the design and the
Yeah.
pattern. It's very obviously from Jurassic Park. So whether Universal told them to change it or just to avoid any future, kind of conflict, whatever.
I bet you probably like Microsoft, like with copyright enforcement law, legal team, whatever, was like, you probably should change that.
Yeah, you probably should do that. Yeah. Next time, how about you guys ask us before you put that in the game?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, sir.
yes, Mr. Gates.
Yes, Mr. Spencer.
But yeah.
But let's get into the high level update from Halo Infinite. Kevin,
we finally got some Halo Infinite news from 343. The first time, I think this is the first like legit Halo Infinite like news.
Not Mega Constructs, not Nerf, not Butterfinger, not Monster Energy. This is from 343. You're telling me?
That's not all the sources that you mentioned either. There's more sources than that.
Oh God.
But there's first actual news from 343. If you don't count the community updates from Unicheck, since like the announcement of the delay back in August,
right?
Which is kind of crazy to think about. But I think that 343 really just wanted to make sure what they put in a blog update is like what's actually happening, and with that extended time frame, they probably had to debate a lot about whether or not to do a spring or fall, and then what could they do with either one as well.
Right.
So continue on, Pat, with what you wanted to kind of, if you wanted to go into more about the update.
The main points, I think Joseph Staten came in, basically confirmed flighting next year, which we could talk about too. The Halo esports scene, we're going to get monthly updates now on the Halo esports scene from Tashi and that team. So that's going to be really exciting to see. To hopefully we get, a look inside Halo Infinite multiplayer soon, like a behind the scenes, much like the sprint. That would be really cool. But Joe Staten came in, said that he's played the campaign twice and that he loves it, and that it was how Bungie imagined 20 years ago Halo would be like. And that was a really like glowing statement from him. And of course, I've told people he's not gonna crap on the game. He's not gonna say, oh my God, I played it and it's awful. Oh my God, you guys better look out. We got a lot of work to do. No, he's not gonna say that, but he doesn't have to say what he said either. He doesn't have to give it all these glowing reception. He said he's never felt more powerful, more immersed in the world. There's a lot of player choice. Hey, do I go over there and mess with these banished people, or do I go follow those sentinels over there into that ravine and see what's going on over there? Like, there's a lot of player choice. So that was really good to hear. Obviously, open world-esque. So that was really comforting to hear. And we got to look at our first multiplayer map for Halo Infinite. No name. Well, I'm sure like naming stuff is like the last thing to do anyway.
Yeah,
so
very much
it's just called multiplayer map. And we got a deeper dive into the coding system, which I did a dedicated video on because there's a lot there. I think the main points that 343 really nailed down was, and back when they announced this, I wasn't really, once again, that concerned with, oh my God, they're taking away primary. I play mostly team deathmatch. Holy shit, I'm gonna get slayed for that one. I play mostly Slayer.
You're gonna get slayed.
I'm gonna get slayed for that one. I play mostly Slayer anyways, so it's red versus blue. Which I'm wondering, dude. Like, we've seen these multiplayer map concept art or whatever that is, and the Spartans aren't red versus blue in that. They're their own. It could be FFA. Who knows? But I wonder what if they took like the Call of Duty approach. I guess this is where my mind was going, and it's just when you're aiming at somebody, you see like a red name, so you know that that's the enemy team, and they really let customization shine in Halo Infinite. Maybe people would probably be even more mad that they can't choose their colors at that point if they went that route. But with the coding system, 343 seems to be doubling down on the coding system. They basically said the reason why they did it, it's a lot easier for them to do this codings. It's a lot smaller of an install size, so they don't have to do like big patches like they did with Halo 5. When they're adding new codings and stuff, that they could really add a lot of codings in a short amount of time to the game. So it sounds like that's good news to me. Less install size is always good. You don't want Halo Infinite being like a 200 gigabyte game.
That's been the main issue with a lot of games nowadays, especially like Call of Duty and also like
Call of Duty is ridiculous.
Like Rainbow Six Siege, and there's a lot of like I actually recently watched a Racivic video talking about how games are so large nowadays. Like I remember back was it 2014 when Titanfall launched that people were upset because it was like a 40 gigabyte download for the whole game.
God, that's like a godsend now.
For just multiplayer though, because of like the uncompressed audio and stuff. And the most of this file size is due to like all the 4K textures, which take up a lot of space, and also all the content for the microtransactions. That's where most of the file size is located for Call of Duty. So like they said like it was like going to be like a 200 gigabyte or 175 gigabyte whatever download for Call of Duty on console, but on PC it was like 80, 90 gigs or something like that for me because I didn't download the 4K texture. So that's a lot of space saved right there because they give you the option to download it. But also you still have to like, load in all the microtransactions for people to optionally have in the game, It's not because like when you buy that stuff in game, you can instantly put it on your character. It's not like you have to buy it, then download it,
Right.
And if that was the case,
it's all got to be previewable and stuff, so you know what you're buying and stuff. It's a lot of stuff in there.
That's why like whenever your game updates and it's like a 30 gigabyte update, I guarantee you 75% of that is just microtransaction content.
Yep.
And so that's kind of one of the things that the 343 is gonna have to worry about when it comes to Halo Infinite. With this being like the largest play space pretty much ever in a Halo game, larger than Halo 4 and 5 campaigns combined, along with all the extra customization, with all the extra armor options that we have, all the armor coding options that we have, and trying to build out a proper UI for all that as well. Like that's going to be quite the feat for 343 to try to pull off properly. But off the top of my head, I couldn't figure out a good way to make that all work unless I actually saw the game. I might have to break a window and break into 343 or something. But
don't listen to this.
But that's like there's definitely a big concern. It's definitely the file size and how big Halo Infinite is going to be. But I'd probably assume at least 100 gigabytes, if not like 100 to 200 gigabytes probably would be the size of Halo Infinite, would be my guess.
It seems the only developer that's ever figured out like great file sizes this gen has been From Software. I know you don't really play their games because they're fucking brutally difficult, but Sekiro was under 20 gigs. Dark Souls, these are open world RPGs. I mean, open world-esque, they're not as big as like, your Skyrim worlds, but still they're huge games with a lot of content in them that take, tens and tens of hours to beat. And I think Dark Souls 3 was like 15 gigabytes. That's it. Like that's insane for this generation of gaming. Very then you got games like Halo 5 that are, near 100 gigs. And obviously MCC deserves to be, the file size it is. It's freaking like 11 engines running at once. That's a huge game. But I get why 343 said this. They said also with the codings that they'll even allow things like customization of like fusion coils in the game. Like
I read
you
that.
Change
like,
the
what?
Yeah, so that's crazy.
Like
and then they tease a bunch of customization options they're not even going to talk about yet. So there's a lot more to. I mean, customization is going to be a huge focus. Music to my ears with Halo Infinite. They also confirmed that you'll be able to earn stuff in game through in-game challenges, playing the campaign and getting codings, armor customization, whatever from there. So that is all music to my ears. It's probably been my biggest complaint about the newer games, a lack of rewarding the player for challenges in game. I think a lot of other games do it much better than Halo. And I've made a video on it recently about how Call of Duty has done customization unlocks fairly well. Besides, we're not going to get into.
Yeah, literally just play the game. You're unlocking something.
Yeah, play the game. You use the weapon you want to get camos for. You get camos for it. Like always loved that way of unlocking things, and I always felt underwhelmed by Halo's challenge system as well. Halo 5 had a very underwhelming challenge system. MCC's is definitely better, but still underwhelming compared to other games, and especially with rewards for challenges. So, and it seems like 343 is taking all that into consideration with Infinite and really going to keep the players coming back. I mean, it's going to be a live service game, so they're gonna need to find ways to bring players back for more and more. They confirmed limited time events in Halo Infinite as well. Confirmed season pass in Halo Infinite, so we kind of expected that.
Did they
So
confirm
that
a
was some
season
of the main
pass?
things.
No,
Yep.
they mentioned seasons. But I don't know necessarily a season pass.
Seasons. Well, that's a season pass, Kevin.
Well, you can have seasons without a season pass.
How?
I mean, you're like, this season is this cool thing that's in the game right now, you know? Doesn't mean you have to have a battle pass to unlock, to progress
They'll
to
have a
unlock
pass
things.
for it. It's a
But
free
yeah,
to
they're
play
going
game.
yeah, they're
You'll
going
have
to,
a
though. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I'm agreeing with you on this. I'm just saying I don't think they confirmed it.
Whatever. Seasons.
Yes,
Seasons. When I hear
are
seasons,
coming.
I think of season pass. Doesn't mean
yeah.
it has to be one that's charged for either, though.
Yeah.
They could go the MCC route, but
They'll charge for it.
probably going to charge for it. It's a free to play multiplayer experience. They're going to need to make their money somehow besides just the store for buying skins or whatever.
Well, I think I know with like the Call of Duty version of the season pass that you can't unlock everything from just buying it. You actually have to grind your way at least somewhat. You can buy like a fast start kind of thing where I think there's like 2 different tiers where like you can either skip the first 10 levels or there's like another tier where you can skip the first 25 levels or something like that. But if you want to reach the very end of the battle pass, you do have to play the game a considerable amount to get to that point.
You could buy your way still, though, because you could buy tiers just separately, in Call of Duty. Like after you buy the 20-tier bundle, say you want to skip another 5 tiers, you just press a button and you could skip those 5 tiers and waste your fucking money on that. But the main thing that I've always wanted to see too is I think Call of Duty changed it this year. I don't remember it being this way for Modern Warfare, but with Black Ops, you earn more than it costs for the next season. Usually you would earn just enough to unlock the next battle pass. Yeah, this one you earn like 400 or 500 more COD points than you normally would to have to. So you could save up and buy stuff from the store if you so choose, or if you miss a season but you play another season, well, now you combine those points and unlock the next season. So I think that's cool.
I would assume for something similar to I would assume something similar with Halo Infinite. You probably there's going to have to be like some in-game currency that you're going to have to use to buy, like with in-game currency that's related to real world money, and you probably buy something. Now I would assume that for your hardcore players,
Bucks.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, infinite
Halo bucks.
Infinite bucks. Spark bucks.
Speaking of Bucks, let's talk about that real quick, because that was another thing I just wanted to mention real quick. Me and you played the Fortnite Halo event.
Oh yes,
played on Blood Gulch. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Like Fortnite without building is a lot more enjoyable than Fortnite with building, but that's just me. I would never wish Fortnite to like drop its building mechanic. That's what sets it apart from most other games. Otherwise, you just got a watered down third-person shooter that kind of feels like Gears, because Epic made Gears. You could feel a lot of the similarities there. And then it's not what it is. It doesn't set itself apart, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
This is my first time playing Fortnite. It's my first time playing Fortnite since like January 2018, like when like the hype first started happening around it. And I'm glad that I play Halo mainly instead of Fortnite. I really didn't like playing it. Like I felt like the mechanics of the game were funky. It wasn't super fluid in my opinion. And like the hit detection
might be just your PC.
And then the hit detection, the hit detection felt funky because like the lead times for like the bullet velocity were just super slow. They just didn't really feel
you just have to. Fortnite's got like random bloom in it.
Yeah,
we all know how much you love bloom.
Halo players love bloom.
So that's its main like reason for what it, like you just got to get like the timing down of your guns and still pray to the RNG guys that you're not getting some random bloom to throw you off. But
and also like the
I always thought the game felt like fluid and fine. It's just not my type of fucking game.
And also
I just can't stand the building.
And also, they didn't really like recreate Blood Gulch, really. Like they kind of base it's like an idea of Blood Gulch, really.
Yeah,
with like the bases from Basin from Halo 5 for whatever reason you chose that as like your base, even though like literally every version of Blood Gulch has those bases in some form or another. Like, and I just don't understand it, and so like they kind of ruined the part of it, and like. It's just
it wasn't even an Epic thing. It was like some community created
Yeah, it's like
thing. So
it's
like
like
if
their
Epic
version of
would have put some
Forge.
time into it, I think it would have been a lot better. But
Yeah, it was like their version of
Obviously.
Forge that they have within the game, the creative
Yeah.
mode. But like they had like a whole like apparently it's from like a known dedicated like community team of like well-known creators within Fortnite that put it together, but it doesn't really feel like they recreated Blood Gulch. It seems like they kind of made like a Blood Gulch idea within Fortnite. And
right.
it didn't really give me the same feels. I didn't really enjoy it too much. It didn't feel like I was playing Blood Gulch. I felt like I was playing Fortnite.
Well,
my
I
opinion.
think that's how it's supposed to be, but yes.
Yeah, but like you generally would at least try to get like the same kind of like look to the map. And
I mean, it looks like Blood Gulch. It just doesn't play like Blood Gulch because you're playing Fortnite. Like try playing Nuketown on Halo. It doesn't feel right.
I have actually. There's
Yeah,
I actually did it in a video. Okay, so I know what you're talking about exactly.
Right.
And that felt like playing Nuketown.
But if you guys are interested, I don't know. Did you upload any gameplay from Blood Gulch to your channel or no?
I didn't, because I recorded a bunch of clips and I was going to, and I was like, I just don't enjoy this. I've nothing to talk about.
Several clips of Patman teabagging Kevin.
You literally teabagged me every time you had a chance.
I teabagged everybody just to see if I could trigger. I triggered somebody in that lobby. He was mad. Teabagging feels really good in Fortnite. I'll give it that. Like it feels really fluid and intuitive.
It's almost on par with Halo, I'd say, with the teabagging mechanics.
It's a close second for teabagging mechanics. It's pretty good.
Yeah, you and Puma were just teabagging every time I died.
Puma teabags regardless, dude.
It's true.
Puma will betray me and then teabag me on my team. He's just that way. But yeah, I mean, we had a time on it. I will neither say good nor bad. It was a time. It was time wasted, and I deleted Fortnite on the Xbox. And
I deleted. I
kept it on my PC
right away.
Kept it on my PC because that creative mode is actually really nice for like thumbnails and stuff. So I might use the Infinite Chief render for some future thumbnails because you could do some cool
that's
stuff.
Right. You did waste money on the microtransactions for a Master Chief.
That's right, baby.
See, I did. That's probably why I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, you weren't playing as Chief, dude. It's hard to enjoy as a default character.
Yeah, true. I was like,
God. All right, so Halo Infinite update. That's basically the stuff we wanted to talk about.
That's what we're talking about.
We should probably release window. Fall.
Yeah, fall
2021.
That one actually caught me off guard. Right. It really did.
Yeah,
I was like full on spring until that not because like the recent leak that we heard from like the Master Chief body actor. Well, he thought spring. He was like, "We're having it all ready for you in spring." I was like, "That sounds like a spring release date." But then he's not gonna know exactly the release date, but he sounded like he had a general idea. Right. But just like how it came about is what kind of surprised me. So they go up until July, and they're like full steam ahead, fall release. Right until midway through August is when they announced the delay, which was like August, September, October, November, 4 months before the game was actually going to release. And they go, "Oh, we need a whole year." Like, you figure that out? Like, literally, that's not even really 4 months. That's more like, it's like the last month is really just kind of more distribution to make sure the game is out to enough sources. So really, like 3 months before release, before having to go gold, and you're like, "Oh, we need to delay a whole year."
Right.
So my guess,
that's definitely like, oh, why did you take so long to figure that out? But yeah, I mean, there's definitely a couple of factors that could play into that. I mean, maybe what Joe Staten came in and said, "Hey, this stuff needs to change." Obviously, the backlash after the showcase, probably like, all right, well, maybe we need to really look at what we need to do to improve this game. And then COVID's been going on for a full year now. Yeah, I can't remember exactly when they started working from home, but that's definitely had a big impact. And no end in sight with COVID. Like we're still not over this yet. They'll still be working from home when they get back from the holidays. So
all throughout 2021.
I'm sure that, so I'm sure that all played a role in it. But yeah, definitely just weird that they would all of a sudden be like, all right, well, yeah, we need a whole nother year.
It must have been.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, it must have been something where it's like, I'm pretty sure where they initially delayed, they probably thought spring, but then we're like, well, if you really want to do this right, then we really should do a fall. I think that's probably how it came. That's my guess about how it came about.
Yeah.
Because then they mentioned about doing a flighting process, which is very needed. I still feel like not like a Call of Duty promotional beta. I'm talking about like an actual flight where you get to play the game early enough to where the developers can take feedback from the community and enhance the game from there. I mean, they already did that from just
baby.
Yeah, they already took in community feedback from just watching the gameplay demo itself,
Right.
So 343 is listening. They want to make the best game for us, that we want, and that will help progress the franchise forward, which is really tough to do.
And they mentioned that too in the thing. Like, we're making this game not for us, for the fans.
Mm-hmm.
So be prepared for more transparency. Be prepared for more high-level updates. So if you guys want to stay absolutely up to date on all the latest happenings on Halo Infinite, make sure you guys subscribe to the KevinKoolx and the Patman Gaming, and stay tuned to future episodes of the podcast.
Exactly.
Speaking of fall of 2021, the end of an era is coming.
Mm-hmm.
December 2021 is when the online services for Halo on Xbox 360 will cease. Goodbye.
Moment of silence, please.
Thank you for the memories. Great memories, but a true end of an era. Are we going to be like, are we going to clout chase like really hard and be those guys that like leave our 360s on and don't let the services die until our Xboxes get red rings of death or something?
I mean, they tried that for Halo 2 on the original Xbox.
Yeah.
But people are going to do it again.
Quite a while.
It was like a few months, really.
Keeping it alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But eventually, everyone's Xbox is going to have to turn off at some point.
Right.
But like, honestly, like, to me, like, this doesn't really bother me too much, just because I haven't touched. I could
care less.
I literally sold my 360 once I bought an Xbox One. I'm like, I'm not gonna be using this.
Mine's sitting in the closet unplugged, so I haven't thought about Halo at all for the 360.
My roommate wanted to give me
MCC.
Well, at the time, my roommate wanted to give me $150 for some games, the console and controller, and I was like, sure, that's better. That's better what GameStop would give me.
Yeah. And that's straight cash money.
Yeah, straight cash money right there. Can't deny that. And so, I mean, it sucks. It's more just like, oh man, I'm getting old kind of moment, really, than anything else.
It's just like a time to reminisce.
It's a mortality check, really.
God.
Like, oh god, I am.
Yeah, I mean,
it is happening. I am getting older.
A lot of people are just like, oh my god, well, you don't like MCC, go play the original. Well, you only got 1 year left, people. Then you can't play Halo 3 and its legacy in all its glory, the best thing ever since sliced bread.
Well, playing at 30 FPS at like 720p.
30 FPS, 720p. Yeah, great.
Not exactly
great times.
Experience. And I'll
be playing at 4K 60 frames or freaking 2K 400 frames on PC.
And there's like maybe 500 people at most at peak playing any one of these games either.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more in Halo Reach, just because it's like the last 360 game that was like played, really. That's Halo 4. But you know what I mean?
Because Halo 4 is dead.
Halo
4 was dead a month after it launched.
It really was. And so, it's sad, but you'll still be able to play the campaigns and play like anything offline.
Right.
Just all the online services are going to be
especially via back compat. So
back compat, you won't be able to play
for
online.
whatever reason. Play the, I guess CE has the nice, better graphics than the MCC version, and not better graphics, but some, a lot of people have problems with the way MCC was ported because it's the Gearbox port. But whatever, I still rather play the MCC version because it's higher resolution, higher frame rate. But for whatever reason, you want to go back and do that, you can. So,
it's just a shame. It's just like one of those things where like, man, I'm getting old. Like, so what was like your favorite moment of Halo on the Xbox 360?
Getting recons.
Hazing
recons. Yeah.
How'd you has recon?
Well, Vidmaster achievements, when those came out, me, the achievement grinder that I am, like, I have every achievement in every mainline Halo game ever.
Did you get that before Halo Reach?
Yeah.
Yeah? I think
I got it like the first week that ODST came out. Me and my buddy beat the campaign, and then we went right to the Vidmaster stuff, getting the firefight stuff, and getting the stuff back on Halo 3. So that was fun, man. Like that was really good memories. Me and my I used to go over to my friend's house, my buddy Chad, and he's such a Chad. And
Like, is he actually very much a Chad?
He's very much a Chad, and his name is literally Chad. But he would get all the new stuff. Like he would get all the, like, I was still, when Halo 3 was out, I was still on Halo 2 because my parents did not want me to have a new 360. So I would always go over to his house to play MW2 and Halo 3, Halo 3 ODST when that came out. So we co-op that together, and that was like really good memories. We used to set up, used to get like a nice foldable table, and we would set up, you know, side by side TVs, get a bunch of Mountain Dew, Doritos, you know, the cliche gamer stuff, and just fuel up all night and just game out, man. And it was so fun. Yeah,
probably my most memorable experiences playing 360 Halo was definitely release night of Halo 3. I stood out in like 20-degree cold for like at least 2 or 3 hours just to get an early spot in line at like the Walmart in like this rural town I was at because I was in college at the time. Yes, I am that old. And
we need pics of Kevin from back in 2007.
Oh, and it was just like, yeah, just like, and then when I came home with Halo 3, I was just like, you know, grinning like the Joker, like that big of a smile, ear to ear, you know. And like my roommate actually took a picture of me because he's like, this guy is such a nerd. Like, look at this guy. He like took a picture of me because I was just so happy to play Halo 3 and to finish the fight. And I was like so obsessed with all the marketing with the game. Like it just, yeah, that was just an absolutely like
the marketing was so, for me. Like that's all I want. I remember my mom bought me the soundtrack to Halo 3.
Really?
She said, "Here, enjoy this because you'll never play the actual game."
that's more of an evil tease, really, or anything.
Dude, it was such a tease. I was upset. I mean, I understand why my parents did not like. I was obsessed with Halo, dude. Like, I would go to school, I would draw an art class, Halo stuff. I made a Halo 3 website, even though I didn't even have the game, for all the skull and terminal locations in my HTML coding class. I did. Back when CE came out, I remember when I was in elementary school, I made, I don't know if my dad still has it, I have to ask him. I made a clay like pot that you could open up, but it was a Master Chief's helmet. And I I was obsessed. So I understood why they did not want me to play more Halo, but that did not stop.
See, I've always, throughout my life, I've always felt like I had to suppress that feeling of being like really enthusiastic about like things I liked, you know, and to be like, no, you know, like, no, that's too nerdy, or no, that's not like what, you know, regular people do,
right?
In a way, but like really,
everybody has their thing, though, you know. But yeah, like it was an obsession.
I think also, especially with like the recent turn in American culture, where like now being into nerdy things is cool.
Oh,
like
dude,
how
I am fully embrace it now.
Well, like how like people look at you weird that you haven't seen Star Wars, where before it was like you watch Star Wars. Like 10 years ago, people were like, "Oh, what a nerd! You watch Star Wars,
changed, man.
You watch Star Trek? What a freaking nerd!" And nowadays, people are like, "What? You haven't seen the new Mandalorian episode?" You know. So,
speaking of which, I like literally how you explained yourself with Halo 3, it was me watching the finale of Mandalorian. I had a grin from ear to ear.
That was so good.
I started getting tears in my eyes, and my wife's just looking at me like, "You fucking dweeb." Like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, is that who I think it is? And I called it before. I'm not going to spoil anything. Don't worry, guys. And I called it before. I'm like, if it's him or her, I'm gonna freak the fuck out. And my wife's like, okay. And when I saw that certain character appear on my screen, I was grinning from ear to ear with tears in my eyes, and I was just like, okay.
It was Sarah Palmer.
It was Han Solo died. Han Solo dies.
Hey, actually, Mandalorian takes place before the new trilogy. Okay, take it easy there. It takes place after Return of the Jedi and before the new trilogy. So easy there.
Yeah.
Han Solo
dies.
Han Solo's still alive during the Mandalorian time frame.
Could be him that appears in that scene that I was talking about.
But yeah, like
you'll have to watch and find out.
I think also my other favorite moment of playing 360 Halo was when Reach released, and I think I remember playing at my friend's house. We were split screen Reach's campaign when it came out. I think we waited I think we waited a while because we were like they were poor college students at the time. We're like, we're not gonna be able to buy a game, you know. And so I think it was like a winter break or something like that, and I went over to his house and we just like literally like stayed up all night just playing Halo Reach campaign all night. Like we went to sleep at like 4 o'clock in the morning. I just slept over at his house, like on a couch at his dad's house, just because I was like, I'm like, I'll bother walking home, which actually was only like a 5-minute walk away. I was just too tired. And so that was like, just having like those cool like in-person gaming moments is what really kind of, you know, brings people together. And that's what like a lot of the 360 did for a lot of people. And then it's a lot
common interests, you know, like bringing people together, being fans of something as big as Halo. I had a Reach moment too with the beta. I remember stalking Bungie.net because they would post codes at Bungie.net for the beta, but before the beta went open to play. And I actually they would post like 50 codes at a time, and every single one you would check, it would just be gone. I remember they posted a new batch, and I just went immediately down to like 3/4 down the page and copied and pasted that into the Redeem website, and I got in, and I was like, and I text all my buddies. I'm like, dude, I'm into the Halo Reach beta. They're like, no way, dude, no way you're in. I'm like, dude, I'm downloading it right now. Get over. And this was back when I had started working, and I wasn't living with my parents anymore, so I had bought my own 360 by then. And was in, all my buddies came over. We played Halo Reach, and it's funny how back then, you know, I didn't even care about Bloom. I didn't care about Armor Lock. I was playing the new Halo, and I was on freaking Sword Base, and I loved that map, and now I hate it. It's like, oh my god, I'm just gonna camp invis with the sword, and I'm a god. You know, those were the good times. Those were the good times, man. A lot of great memories with Halo on the 360, but a lot more to be made. So,
but sadly, like I think you're watching. I watched like your Twitter clip talking about like you're like I think I saw a tear roll down your eye a little bit right there. You're talking about the Bills making, you know.
I cried almost 2 days in a row, dude. Fucking, I was like the Bills and Mandalorian. It was I've been super sensitive this week.
I'm very vulnerable right now.
Leave me alone, okay?
But like, I was thinking, like, dude, I'm probably gonna have that experience, like either probably first booting up the game or like playing the game, and when that first like Halo moment hits.
When you hear the Halo theme, you just get that chills down your spine. You're just,
I mean, I had that experience with when the Force Awakens, when I saw like the Millennium Falcon, not the Millennium Falcon, like flying through the ship and stuff like that. I'm like, it's a Millennium Falcon, boy. It's Star Wars.
And Han's like, dude, Chewie, we're home. I'm like,
yes, you are. You are.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, man, end of an era certainly is.
End of an era. Yeah.
You know, R.I.P. You know, pour one out for the homies.
Thank you, Halo, for the memories. We'll see you in Infinite. Onto the playlist update for MCC and Halo 5. So we'll talk about the playlist update for MCC first. So they had an update actually when they added that Season 5 content. They actually made a update to Halo 4 Squad Battle. Thank God. They changed the respawn time to 10 seconds and squad battle objective game types. So CTF, like Dominion, stuff like that, which was sorely needed in CTF. CTF was major pain in the butt every time that came up in that playlist. So that's a nice change. They reworked Dominion objective ordnance in Halo 4 squad battle and fixed an issue where active camo pickup respawn instantly on multi-cog. Dude, besides like Haven, Adrift, Exile, I can't remember any other than Halo 4, Skyline. That's about all I can remember when it comes to Halo 4 maps. So a lot of this stuff goes right over my head. Right now, for the rest of the month until like January 4th, I think, Kevin, is double XP, double metal XP on MCC. So get those blue shields, guys. I think me and Kevin are closing in on finally getting there.
Just don't play Halo 3. It'll be totally fine.
Yeah. Halo 5, the whole month of December, is Global Double XP, I think. Yeah. Global Double XP started December 8th. Warzone, Turbo, Castle Wars, Holiday Fiesta, and Husky Raid are live for the holidays, they said. So get those 152 because
No Rock and Rail,
we
though.
actually know what a couple of the rewards are for 152.
Can we just have like a month of Rock and Rail, and then I would actually come over and play Halo 5, you know? Come on.
You know what? I see a lot of people are like, oh, well, speaking of Rock and Rail, that's coming January 14th, so be ready. All right, Mr. I'm good at 152. Let's see you do it.
After my how to get 152 video, I'm like, maybe not.
Maybe I'm not gonna do this. God.
I think I had to play like at least like 2 games of legendary boosted heroic, like, or like say legendary Warzone firefight, just to like a day to hit 152 before or as of November 15th.
Or just do 10 on the weekend and not play all week. Just get one good grind session.
That's like a dedicated stream right there, man.
That freaking do your 152 freaking journey stream, bro. Content. But that is your playlist update, guys. For now, there is also like a Forge testing map that like I don't play stuff like that. So community Forge test map
that was
mode
really fun.
in the MCC.
Yeah, I played that. I played a whole stream of playing that for like 4 hours straight. It was really fun. Like all the maps in there are really well done. Like, yeah, some are better than others, but for the most part, they're really well done maps. Like they're all part of a competition where like the winner got like $1,000, or it was like, yeah, the winner got like 1,000, runner up got like $500 for forging a map. So you know that these were like high quality maps, and they did a great job.
Evader made one.
Oh, you did?
I'm not playing that. He's toxic.
But like, yeah, like some of the maps I say are better than others, but for the most part, they play really well. Like, also, like I've noticed, like some of the optimization on them is not the best, but like that just kind of comes with like Forge maps in Halo. That like you'll have massive drops from like 120 to 60 playing Halo 3, but that's just because like you can't like stream textures like or optimize a map like you can with like a developer made map. So it's kind of, you know, it comes with the territory. And some of the lighting gets glitchy, but that's just, you know, Halo 3 Forge. But yeah, the maps are great. I highly suggest jumping in and playing it if you have a chance. You know, besides, you know, if you're going for double XP grind, which playing Halo 3 is kind of like the last thing you want to do, really.
Yeah, Halo 4 has been pretty nice with the medals.
They literally anything CE 2 Reach H2A 4 great on XP. Halo 3 god awful. Like, you literally cut your XP gains in half playing Halo 3. Yeah, it's bad. I don't know why they never fixed it, but I don't know. Maybe they'd have to code in a whole nother like set of challenges, or I don't know. I don't get it. Anyways, though, that's what's going on.
Anyways, let's talk real quick about the. While we bring the show to a close here, guys, we have a updated list of photos here for the Showtime Halo series that hopefully we get a actual like trailer for next year, which we should.
Oh, we definitely will.
Coming out next year.
We'll get a trailer next year.
When? Yeah. No. So hopefully in the spring, it'll be nice to see a trailer. We got Jen Taylor, who is actually now reprising her role as Cortana. The other person that was supposed to be playing Cortana in the Showtime show had for I think scheduling purposes, she couldn't play Cortana anymore. Now Jen Taylor won't be playing Halsey. That will still be the other actress, but she'll be doing the voice of Cortana, so that's cool. Nice little consistency there between the games and the show. You gotta look at the UNSC military cartridges and look at the battle rifle, baby.
Ooh, all those battle rifles.
Oh, all those sexy battle rifles. I wonder how much those would cost.
And modeled after like the BR-55 is what it is, like from Halo 3, it looks like, or Halo 2. Either one of those. Yeah. But like the classic looking battle rifle. It's important.
Classic, right.
Which would make you look
the aesthetic.
Which also makes you think of like about what kind of battle rifle they have in Halo Infinite. Because I don't think we've seen that yet. Have we seen the battle rifle?
Yeah, we've seen the BR in Halo Infinite.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we did. Yeah, in the beginning. Yep. Yeah, it looks like. Yeah. It looks just like the Halo 2, Halo 5 battle rifle.
Yeah.
You know, maybe like the Halo 2
it's
version.
Like the Halo 2 battle rifle, but with like a bigger scope on it in Halo Infinite. Is like the best way to explain it, in my opinion. But
they added a rail system with this model as well, so I'm thinking maybe you might be able to change the optic on the battle rifle.
yeah, I could see that.
Which I think would be really cool. Have that option.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, those battle rifles look awesome. We also got to see I guess an elite hand as well. It looks like.
Yeah, it looks like an elite hand. Yeah.
They couldn't really tell whether or not it was like the newer or older phenotype of the elite, but I'm assuming probably the more classic version.
Right.
But we gotta look at that as well. And also like a UNSC crate, but they said that was using more of the newer font style for the UNSC crate. So again, like have like what we've seen with Halo Infinite, blending the old and the new. Or I see the same kind of thing with Halo Infinite or Halo's TV show. Trying to have that visual consistency between the game and the TV show as well. Even though the TV show isn't canon, which is I think it's still a good move.
Yeah, but they're going to be using that for advertising for Halo Infinite. Like, that's going to get people hyped, much like they did with Nightfall before 5 and stuff. So,
dude, I hope the show
definitely
is good. I really hope the show is good because, like, imagine like
same.
like I've been watching people like do videos like The Mandalorian and stuff like that. And I'm like, I would love to do that exact same thing for the Halo TV show.
I told you we could always do like podcasts right after, like Angry Joe used to do like a live reaction after every episode of Game of Thrones. Like we could do something like that, like a breakdown after every episode. That would, like, first of all, from a content creation perspective, frick yes, we want to be able to create more Halo content, but at the same time, just imagine. I doubt my parents would like get into it. Just imagine the people that don't play video games. What if it's like a high tier show like Game of Thrones, like Walking Dead was? Like,
I mean, the budget's right up there with Walking Dead.
Like, oh yeah, the budget's right up there. Don't mean it's gonna be good, but if it is, like that is huge for the series to get all those, like all that buzz around the series would be absolutely awesome. And then maybe we'll eventually get the Halo movie, or even more Halo stuff. So, yeah, definitely, really hoping it's good.
Honestly, I'm more excited about a TV show than a movie when it comes to Halo, because a movie you get an hour and a half of entertainment, like what, every 2 years, probably at best 3 years.
Yeah.
TV show, you get 45 minutes of entertainment every week for like 9 weeks straight. It's way more storytelling, way more
that Hollywood-sized budget though for a Halo movie could be really good. Yeah, that budget. Like if it was like, or if they did like a Blur movie, like where it wasn't live action, it was just cinematics.
Yeah,
I'd take my money. I'd take it right now. Yeah. So, end of the show, Kevin, where can people find you and your content if they're looking for some Halo news?
You want some Halo news? You want some Halo entertainment as well? Come to KevinKoolx on YouTube, guys. You'll find us there. At KevinKoolx on Twitter as well. KevinKoolx on Twitch. On top of that, KevinKoolx on Instagram as well. And even if you want to find occasional posts on Facebook, KevinKoolx there as well. I've been trying to leverage that a little better
just for that.
But it's been tough to get some traction on Facebook though. But
I heard TikTok's the way to go. I just refuse to fucking download that app.
I'm kind of on the edge of downloading it because there's so many different ways.
I'm thinking about it. I mean, a lot of people are getting a lot of exposure on there, but I just.
And I have ideas, man, that like this would work well on TikTok, but not well on YouTube.
Yeah, true.
But hey, whatever. Maybe China should deserve my information. I don't know.
Dude, that's not even what worries me about that app. If China wants my information, they already have it, one way or another. Every government agency in the world probably has my info. Who knows how your info gets sold wherever? So
I don't want some guy in China to steal my stats. It's like playing
Fortnite for a living.
I don't want some guy in China stealing my stats. I worked hard for those stats in Halo, okay?
Oh, your KD? You don't want China stealing your KD?
No, you don't steal that KD.
Dude, China's watching us right now before we even put this live. They've already seen the podcast. They already know all the spoilers.
They're like, oh, you think you know about Halo Infinite.
But, yeah. So that's the show end. If you guys are looking for my content at the Patman Gaming on everything, which Kevin needs to fix the link in his videos to my YouTube channel. He's got the wrong link. So my name has been changed for almost a year now, Kevin. So get on the ball. But that's it Thank you guys for listening and or watching. We're available on Spotify too, and Podbean if you guys want to save on your phone battery. And we will see you guys probably after the holidays for the next episode of the Halo Outreach podcast. Thank you guys so much, and we'll catch y'all later.
Peace out.